Could you give me a minute, Atlanta?
Why is that? Has anything happened?
Have you given any thought to wedding someone but Flex?
I have, but... Wait. Didn't you guys just start getting to know one another?
We were, indeed. So, have you heard anything about Flex wanting to call off the engagement?
I'm sorry. There is no chance of it occurring.
If so, how?
Why are you messaging me with this information now? Why do you care so much about ending our marriage?
No, I'm not trying to say that.
Do you simply dislike Flex? Are you of the opinion that he lacks compassion and common sense? You guys welcomed him warmly, so I assumed you and Dad were fine with him.
Of course, we have great thoughts about Felix. Felix is a lovely man, at least in your father's and my opinion.
So, could you please explain your reasoning for wanting Felix and I to call off our engagement? I really plan to marry him and have a wonderful life. Nobody should stand in the way of it, please.
That's all. I was considering proposing to Felix's fiancée, Mary, who is your younger sister.
You're making fun.
I'm not joking, I just felt that Mary was prettier and better suited to Felix, just that.
Huh? Is that all there is? Mom, what are you talking about?
This time, I'll just be frank with you. For me, will you please cancel your engagement to Felix? I want you to offer your sister Mary your fiancé Felix.
Again? Did you experience head trauma?
Felix and Mary will now be engaged. Mary can marry as a result of it. You ought to comprehend, after all, you are an elder sister.
Hold on, I truly don't understand what's happening. Why do I have to leave my fiancé behind? As I already mentioned, Mary is quite attractive and would compliment Felix much more than you do. Have you ever thought about Felix's feelings and thinking? Isn't it strange to have to selfishly break up with your fiancé?
It should be all right if that's the only thing you're concerned about. Felix won't be against it, so I'll try to reach a compromise with him.
He's my fiancé, therefore there's no way in hell he'll agree.
Mary is so adorable that everything will turn out in the end, since every man in the world would want to wed her.
Do people's lives even matter to you if you think it shouldn't be allowed for individuals to just call off their engagement?
There were no complaints when we addressed this at family meeting.
How would you define a family gathering? We had one, right? Do you mean to say that my dad also approved of this?
All this time, I've been trying to tell you. The marriage of Mary and Flex has already been chosen.
I find what I'm hearing to be unbelievable.
From point forward, their love will blossom. If you get in the way, it will be an issue, so refrain. Please stop disturbing their romantic nest so frequently, okay?
Are you crazy, you idiot? Did I ever consent to calling off our engagement?
When I talk to Flex, he'll undoubtedly comprehend. If you could cut it off right away, it would be more beneficial.
I'm not able to accomplish it. I'm not going to call off our engagement in any manner.
You still have the ability to say that. I eagerly anticipate your favorable response.
Pause for a moment. I said that I didn't want it. Mother? Mom!
Hey, Atlanta. I have something to tell you.
What's up? Could it be that my mother bugged you into leaving me?
Oh, you made a good point. I've been getting a lot of texts from your mother, which is a little frustrating.
I was aware of it, and I deeply regret what my mother is doing.
No, you shouldn't apologize. That's not your responsibility.
Yeah. And? How did my mom put it?
She said, I want you to break up with Atlanta and marry her little sister Mary, or maybe like we're getting ready for you two to live together. She already has the marriage license ready, so they're pushing me up against a wall. Your mother said that as long as you sign that paper, I will prepare all the rest.
How can my mother do this? The two families have already talked to each other. How can she take it as a joke of hers? She's causing so much difficulty. I can't believe it. Flex, I'm very sorry for giving you so much hassle.
You are not to blame because you did nothing wrong, as I have previously stated.
That could be the case, but... My parents swapped contact information as you were introducing yourself at my house the other day. It wouldn't have come to this if I had just stopped for a moment.
Only out of desire did I exchange numbers with her. I assumed I needed her contact information so I could check in with her.
Message her to check in? How could you possibly need to?
Do you mind the time I visited your home and spent some time in the restroom? Actually, it was your mother who expressed her love for me.
Yes, she continued praising your sincerity in front of me.
After that, Mother started gushing about how adorable your sister Mary was and how much better I fit her. She wanted us to talk more about the time I broke off my engagement and wed Mary.
My mom would go to that extent.
I made an attempt to decline by letting her know that I was already engaged to Atlanta, however. Don't worry, she assured me, she has already spoken to you about calling off the engagement. We soon heard you enter, and there was when the talk came to a stop. It's weird to believe that she genuinely wanted me to call off the engagement and wed Mary instead.
Isn't it odd that she wanted to replace your fiancé without taking into account your feelings?
Yes, it truly is. I wouldn't want to marry anybody else than you, Atlanta. I debated whether or not to tell you the entire time. I didn't anticipate it getting to this point. I apologize sincerely for not notifying you sooner.
That's how things were. Simply said, changing your fiancé against your will is absurd.
You are accurate. I kept trying to tell her that, but she insisted that I marry Mary despite my repeated attempts.
I had just sent my mom a message. I continually told her that I didn't want to, but she wasn't paying any attention.
Your mother appears to be concentrated on getting her way all the time. What are we hoping to accomplish here?
I see now. Flex, why don't you look for a place to hide for a little while? They'll probably break in if they learn where you live.
You are correct in that. I'll try talking about that with one of my friends who is a freelancer and ask him if I may stay over for a while.
Would that be okay? That would be fantastic.
I want to discuss it with him. He's a decent man, so I know he will comprehend. I also work remotely, so I'll be comfortable working from any location. There won't be any pressure from a business, and everything will be okay.
I'm glad to hear you haven't encountered Mary before, but please be cautious about any woman you come across.
Oh right, I have a nice notion. I'll be careful for that reason.
What is it? Oh!
At the end of this month, my lease on my flat expires. I could take the chance to relocate someplace, for example.
That seems like a really good concept. But wouldn't that be difficult? What about you?
As soon as I get married and move into my next apartment, I want to live there with you. Hey, why don't we choose a location together?
Yes, please.
I believed it would have been pleasant for us to share my existing flat, however. This would be a wonderful opportunity to begin a new life with your partner.
Yes, I would love for this to somehow become really interesting.
I'll start looking for an apartment the following week if it's decided. I'll be staying at my friend's house while I look for a new home for us to reside. Everything is all right.
I want to express my regret for everything. But I'm glad to hear that you're looking for an apartment that we can both live in.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that as well. That settles it, then.
I'll let you know straight immediately if my mom and Mary experience any unforeseen changes.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'll let you know if something unfortunate occurs to me.
There, take care.
Yes, you as well.
Atlanta, I must admit that you did a good job this time. It appears that you actually ended your engagement with Flex.
Huh? Why do you say that, exactly? I stayed committed to him and didn't call it quits.
What? You have not broken off your engagement to him yet, have you? You persist, don't you?
I previously informed you that I had no plans to call off our engagement. When Flex heard of it, he also declared that he would not call off the engagement.
That won't matter since Mary will immediately steal him away once he realizes how adorable she is.
You may say that, but they haven't even spoken to each other yet, right? Nevertheless, why do you desire their marriage so badly? You weren't present when I announced my engagement at the home, and you said you had plans.
I snapped a picture of Flex while you were out of your seat, just in case.
You believe they will get hitched based just on a picture?
That is not at all how I feel. I only wanted to inform Mary of his appearance. However, my preparations to visit Flex's house and arrange for Mary to meet him are going well.
You visited Flex's residence, right? How did you determine it while not knowing his address?
I requested assistance from a detective service in discovering his residence.
Why do you say that? Investigative agency? You sent a detective to follow Flex?
Stalking? I didn't do that. It's a bad way to phrase it. After all, he refused to provide me his address despite my repeated requests. I hired a detective because I believed it would be the quickest way to learn where he lives.
I can't believe it. You'd go to that extent to arrange for Flex and Mary to wed.
What will I do to you too if you don't intend to call off the engagement as well?
Why do you say that?
For over a month, Flex and Mary have shared a home.
What? Living together? What the hell are you doing?
It seemed to have been love at first sight. After almost a month of getting to know one another better, they moved in together. Since Mary left home, she has been absent for more than a month.
No way is that true. You are lying.
Mary's beauty will make any guy fall in love at first sight. You are aware that Mary is regarded as the most attractive woman in this area, right?
You're telling me that I'll lose Flex to her?
I have been stating that. It has been agreed that you will end the engagement as a result. If you get it, stop moaning and fussing and leave the situation alone.
I see.
You were so obstinate in rejecting my advice, yet in the end, you're rendered mute. I'm sure it won't hurt too bad if you run off quickly.
I now see everything clearly. That implies you don't require the $5,000 each month I've been providing you, is I correct?
You've been sending me $5,000 every month, huh? Well, Mary will also send money to me if I help her with this.
So is Mary your child or mine? Why do you always favor Mary when she's not even your biological child?
Atlanta, you don't need to know about this. You just need to disappear and cut off contact to avoid bothering Felix and Mary.
Well, I've decided not to let you and Mary have what you want just because of Mary's selfishness.
I'm telling you that you must immediately leave Felix as Mom has requested. I hope you listen and obey my words.
Mom, I'm old enough to make decisions about my own love life. I can't give up on my love just because of what Mom, whether it's Mary or Mom, says.
Atlanta, you are my child, and you are not allowed to argue with me. I only want what's best for you and worry about your future.
I know Mom is worried about me, but I also need the right to make decisions about my own life. I have grown up and have the ability to make choices for myself.
But Atlanta, I just want you to avoid mistakes in love and focus on your career. Felix is not the right person for you. Mary is the one who is suitable while you are not. Mary is beautiful, intelligent, and always listens to me unlike you.
I understand your concerns. But I need Mom to trust my choice. I have carefully considered and know that Felix is the person I want to be with. I won't listen to any lies from you.
I cannot agree with your decision. I only hope you understand and follow my advice. I am your mother, and you should respect and heed my words.
I'm sorry, but I can't compromise on loving someone just because of someone else's words. I hope Mom can respect my decision and support me through this process.
I'm not happy with your decision, but I still love and care about you. I hope you will reconsider and think carefully before making any final decisions.
Thank you, Mom, for listening. I promise to think carefully and ensure that my final decision is made based on careful consideration. I decided to move abroad with Felix to work in another company. You don't need to look for me because I won't become the person you want if Mom doesn't stop.
Shut up. Come back here now. Atlanta!
Felix and I moved to Miami, where everyone was so nice that made me forget all the bad things. After 2 years of going back, Mary got married to another man. Mom becomes angry and bitter at not being able to successfully get Mary's money. I decided to stop sending her money because I felt she was too selfish and treated me like her puppet.